Hello. Hello, lovely loves. I'm not sure if this is actually working because this is my first time using this. So I'm going to try to see if I can figure it out. Maybe it is working. Well, it says my expectation thing. Oh, okay. It's working. I think it's working. Okay. So this is about, I decided to get on and try this out like real time and just get ready, a little bit of getting ready, but not too much. Just like, I don't really do a lot to get ready. I'm probably going to braid my hair though. But I wanted to talk about how expectations ruin everything. And hopefully my audio sounds right because I'm not really sure if it does, to be honest. I have no idea. Maybe I should try to see if I can hear myself. And I can't. Whoever's in here, can they hear anything? Because this says the audio is working, but I don't really know. Yeah, I have no idea if the audio is working. And I don't know how to tell. It looks like it's working on my end because it has this little, I'm talking. Oh, it is working. Okay. Earlier it wasn't working. Okay, so back to what I'm talking about originally, which is how expectations ruin everything. And actually, the Mayan Jin Abaddon is the one who kind of reminded me of this because it's actually, I kind of talked about it a little bit when I was talking about all the paperwork and how you want to write down your future, you want to plan your future. Well, what you're doing when you do that is you're planning all types of expectations. So you're planning like what you expect to happen 5 years from now, a year from now, blah, blah, blah. So you're really just setting up yourself all these types of expectations. And the point is that when you have expectations, it ends up pretty much ruining everything because you're setting yourself up for failure when you do that. And another portion of this is other people's expectations of you. And this is really where it gets sticky because depending on your geographic location, maybe your race, your gender, whatever, you have expectations put on you by society. So, you know, for me even, I've had expectations put on me, and usually when I have them, there's this part of me that immediately does not agree and is like, that is some bull. Like, I'm like, this is some bullshit. I'm not agreeing to this expectation that's now been placed on me by whoever, whether it be like my teacher or, I mean, I've had teachers tell me, oh, well, you're never going to get a job in design because you're just, the way that you draw is just not going to work. Or no one's going to hire you if you do that. Or I've even had people at my job tell me, oh, you're not able to do this because you're not capable of doing this. And the thing about it is, with me, I'm the type where when someone says that to me, it actually makes me say, okay, that's bullshit, and I'm going to prove them wrong. So I spend the time then just doing it. But at a certain point, even doing it and spending the time doing it to prove the person's expectations, their low expectations of you, of being wrong, I'm having fun doing it because they've given me passion. They've given me this drive now to prove them wrong. So it's not even about them anymore at that point. It's about me and how I feel and like what is driving me. Like, I have a fire now to do this. And at the end of the day, I don't even care what they think, because at a certain point, even with, you know, with my teachers, like, I don't even know what happened to those teachers that said I got a job in design. I got plenty of jobs in design, and I never said anything to them. I never sent them a letter like, ha ha ha, look where I work, or ha ha ha. You know, it's not about that anymore, because what it was is that these low expectations are there because you have put them there. Meaning there's a part of you that have agreed to have these low expectations on yourself. So what happens is you have the low expectations, they're there, it's somewhere in your unconscious mind are these expectations, and they're being shown to you by the people giving them to you. So you can consciously be aware that it's there then, because you can see this person telling you this. This person is telling you that you're not going to amount to anything, that you're not going to find a job in this area, or you're not going to be able to do this or that. So there's a part of you that believes that. That's why you're hearing it. But when you hear it, now you have the opportunity to say, wait a minute, this person is telling me something that is not true, and I don't believe it. So I'm going to make sure I don't believe it by making sure that it's no longer there in my unconscious awareness. So that's when you spend time working toward it. You spend time doing things that's like helping yourself out and not having this low expectation of yourself. So yeah, that's basically how it works. It's one of those things where expectations in general do ruin everything, because now you're setting yourself up where you either don't get them or you're limiting yourself. Because a lot of times what you do is you expect something and then you put a cap on what you're even capable of, because there's really no caps. There's no cap on what we are capable of doing. There is no limit. But as soon as you put an expectation on it, you've now put it in a box and you've placed a limit on it. So that's the whole reason why they can literally ruin everything. And then a lot of times people will see these expectations placed on them by other people, whether it be their teacher or their parents. And then what they end up doing is they end up perpetuating it, because maybe they don't really like the expectation, but because it's there and they respect whoever it is that's giving it to them, they then live up to it. But it's limiting them so much, but they're doing it and they're unhappy because they are capable, and what they really need to do is so much more than what their expectations are. But because they're being told by someone that they trust and love, who has low expectations of them, that they need to fulfill these low expectations, they're stuck being unfulfilled in a really low vibrational or low quality of what they're actually capable of. And that's the thing that the reason why the expectations, you know, are not helpful. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, my daughter can give me, she says she wants to do all types of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, okay, whatever it is, you could do whatever you want. Or you can have more than one. And I mean, that's another thing too. I think a lot of kids these days realize that, hey, I'm not going to just be one thing. I'm going to be all things. Like, I'm going to do all of it. Like, you know, I'm going to be a hairdresser, and I'm going to be a yoga instructor, and I'm going to be, you know. So, I mean, they have all types of things. And I'm going to be a doctor, and I'll be a nurse. I mean, they're just, and they realize that they don't have to just pick this one thing, and it has to be this one path that's like, well, you need to do this because the people who do this make the most money, or the people who do that, whatever. So it's just about not putting these expectations on people, whether it be low or high to you. Because what happens is parents will do it. They'll put an expectation on their child of something that is, in their mind, it's a high expectation. But in reality, what their child is capable of is totally beyond what they could even comprehend. So when they put an expectation on them and tell them that they need to do this or that, they are in effect limiting them without even realizing it, because they're giving them their highest expectation, when in reality what they're capable of is beyond anything they could ever even think of doing or being or whatever. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, how can it's about flowing and having fun without putting an expectation on it. Because as soon as you do, you've now put it in a box.